Call the meeting to order, and ask everyone to stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do we have any public comments for items that are on the agenda? Moving on to new business, taking the claims. It's a seven, we had our final bill for Noble, after the end of the for the 7 minutes. And $75, so we're done.
Is that the new submitting for reimbursement from the center?
Any other questions on plan? I'll ask for a motion to approve claims.
Make a motion to approve these.
In a second. Moving on to approval of the city council meeting minutes.
Earlier, I think that's the you too. You might not see it, though. I CC you. This was my suggestion was when I go to refer to some of these other people outside of, some of us that are mentioned at the top of the notes, like about Levi. If you their official notes for the record, it shouldn't, I thought maybe it should be spelled out that it's the city attorney or his whole name. More, more professional, so it's for the record, instead of just calling him by his first name. Everybody that's looking at it might not know who that is. Yeah. So, I updated that section. Okay, awesome. Don't big deal. No, change that. Is it the page 5? Yeah, page 5, okay.
Questions on, comments on the meeting minutes? Look for a motion to approve.
Read a motion to approve the council meeting to next April 20.
So a second,
I'll second that.
motion, selection to review, who out here, more services, and James Queen. That's for a motion to approve, business license.
I make a motion to approve the renewal of these two businesses.
Second, all in favor? We have a variance request.
You skipped the new.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I'm getting rid of my joke. Champion R&D. So, owners Kent Davis, this is an environmental consulting site evaluation and like that. Stuff on sanitation applications. See. And sample. And the result from Josie out. On the property up there, and one other. You have any questions?
No.
So, motion to approve Champion R&D LLC.
I will make a motion to accept, approve, and R&D policies. Business.
So, second. All in favor? No, Kelly, Ramsey, no? Radio? Okay, no. This is located up on the highway on 1070 Central Avenue. And Lindsay's property there next to Don Lyle and Kenny Works. There, there for a while, already. It is on a running trailer, it's not a tiny home, it's, pretty good sized one, they're saying that they're going to build down below there. The building inspector has looked at the place they're gonna build. Has, has, before last, we went down and talked to them about that. I don't know if they've started yet. So basically, in our application for the variance request for recreational vehicle, and it's occupied during construction, including remodeling, construction of residential or commercial building operations. Allow a variance for that 6-month period at a time. So it's more than one.
They were carrying the spot and go around.
Yeah.
That's something that they would get started.
So generally in the past, haven't necessarily done this for the ordinance, because we have a lot of people who do this without being under construction. But our ordinance specifically says that doing construction on a house or remodeling on their house. It's pretty important of you. Which sounds like that is his plan to do, or their plan to do it. So I would probably say that we backdate this variance back a couple months, because that's when they moved in. They were told multiple times by multiple people that they're coming to variance during request. So.
Is this the same thing to have the plans done before the end of the year? Well, construction done. This says I'm working on getting plans for house runoffs, so we can apply for a building permit. Should have them done before the end of the year. Does he know that he only gets 1 year total?
Assuming so, since they filled it out, it says we're 1 year from the day of issue.
Seems very short for building a house.
But they have to come back in 6 months, give us an update too. So.
You might want to speed up this plan process at least.
Do we have any idea of when they moved on, when they moved it on and started using it? Like, do we have a first time was filing to the site date?
I know the winter. Actually,
Because if we just follow really it, that book, which was his first time using it, then putting it right.
January 23rd, picture sent.
Yeah, wait later when I was just.
oh, for sure.
I have all their own homes in the building. Not a no shop on that security done. Yeah, concrete on that. I should have had a little she shed up on that day. Looks like we having kids so you know, it's funny.
Yeah.
So when I went out, I said that's what's out for about 6 minutes. About 2 weeks ago, about I really think the ashes out I think that we consider it.
So I already recreational vehicle. There's actually an ordinance, or not ordinance, an MCA that we've adopted for tiny homes, and then mobile RVs, mobile homes. For manufactured home as actually covered under the health.
So you could still be nothing comes off, so we think that's the behind, so You say this or I'm trying to get this and that. What's that? So that make a difference.
No, the goose actually falls under the tiny home.
To me, it's no more historical there. Because we, if you're worried about an eyesore, there's a lot of eyesores.
That's building inspector, there's a building codes for tiny homes, for building codes actually for mobile homes, which we actually have an ordinance on that. We have a situation down here at Benedict Avenue. Where somebody bought a little mobile home and it's a job site, mobile trailer, and somebody told them that it was a tiny home and it's not like that. And within our ordinance, actually, in the county, a mobile home has to be, a manufactured home has to be, I don't know, 20 feet wide and a minimum of 9 feet.
So that's considered a animal.
So, you can,
Okay, but you can't break the.
once a single wide is out of Troy, so you have to meet the ordinance on size. And it has to be a lot more electrical. There's a lot of older single wide that are aluminum wired in the town. But what's the fire starting?
If we get in there, it's covered like all of these details we just talked about just now. It doesn't really matter because it's just what is written that matters. And I think we have to be careful about that. If we, like, we know it takes longer than we. So if that's the case, then these days, I mean, I guess the people I've seen coming to build houses, it seems like it takes longer. Maybe it's something that we look at changing, in a bigger scope, but for right now, I mean, it says on here that
So you just said 6 months, but just 9 days.
so it's basically like you grant it for 6 months and then they can get another 3-month extension, then they can get another 3-month extension, but they can't see 1 year. But on here it says, whereas, blah, 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 blah. They be given it on application and approval, extensions shall not exceed 3 months in total and no more than 2, that's not good. So here, granted a flammable fuel. Has granted this variance as an accommodation to the landowner under the facts and circumstances presented and not as a matter of right or entitlement at law or in fact.
Always good in the town of variance.
So this is the aware of. It's an aware, it's like it's the focus. So it's 2 months ago.
So that's what, if you have any other questions, then
So I think the way it's written, you should just leave it as is. Passed by the city council and approved by the mayor of the C2 state of the name.
Oh, and off that. He's supposed to be, they have 30 days living in it, and then they're supposed to come in and request it there. He should have requested it, so the clock started ticking months ago as our ordinance reads.
Which I agree with that, but now we're just passing it, so what is that?
so we'll pass it and I'll ask if Levi, consider we can approve it for the first one, and then I'll ask Levi if we can work it back.
Yes, it was from that was ridiculous. Maybe. First time somebody wanted to get this out from the city. I would think we'd be able to go all the way back.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, the
so
ordinance
once
is
we
saying-
noticed it, once we got the picture, but I would run it by you guys just to make sure we're getting it right.
So I'll ask for a motion to approve variance request. So a second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Sorry. What would not be, just taking the number of days, what would, if we didn't, look it up.
Would get a order to vacate, and we would vacate, and Travis goes and right tickets.
It's still the property though.
It's the property. Oh, sign permit application, so.
This ordinance has a lot of information.
It does.
Yeah.
Check him about when we started getting, billboards, we found.
So it's 12 square feet and then this. Oh, okay, on-site. So are all these on-site signs? Okay. So it looks like the signs exceeded the 12 square foot area. That, do you read it the same, page one?
That is shown 24 and a half.
Page one is that don't require a city permit. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see.
Required permit, not
On-site requiring a permit. Letter I of that section says permitted surface area.
2 square.
That's offsite. The letter I above the regulation of offsites, for on-site, limited to a maximum of 100 square feet total, regardless of number. The very top of 3, permitted surface area. Uh, I don't think so. I would have to see if Jamie has something else.
Which is required, which is like the location, different states, both the painting side, the sign setbacks from three-dimensional drawings of the signage, including color and different construction, smoke, with my components. That's it.
Yeah, so we can listen to we actually have a site plan, all the details on it.
Yeah, and I think also
It is you, it says it's required, yeah, it says it's required. So, let's see, didn't provide that, unless.
And then also, if you find in here, I thought when I looked at it earlier, there's also somewhere in there where it has to be a certain. For the road.
Yeah, there's a lot of bits.
To
Um,
street frontage. So I don't know if that one.
I'm sure you must have the ordinance, so yeah, sure you would follow.
I thought it was only 50 though, when I read it before, and here it says 95. Oh wait, $95. That makes sense. But I can't find it now again. Anyways, that's something over, I'm sure.
933B has the setback for on-site. Um,
I thought I was wrong about the street.
at this height, I think there is, but I remember reading.
Is that all under state, not us, and the rules of state safer offset, I think that's why we couldn't put it in our ordinance, or our. Yes, yeah, state resident, yeah, just highlight, so that's.
So I'm just, it's pretty table at all, I'm just trying to find it.
City attorney's contract, moving on to Levi, separated out from general law and internal law. And so basically, it is much the same, except for the name on it. What we've been doing. Levi wanted to do one, he did annual. You know. He kept it very percentage previously. I know Wednesday was a very, very busy day.
So rate, his rate was. That's pretty good for an attorney. The only question I had is about his insurance. I feel like now that it's standard, I could be wrong with this. I thought what was standard of like the insurance he has, and it says like $500,000 liability.
So with Levi being a one-man show, he does his own paralegal and everything, if he has a $1,000,000 insurance, he has to charge about 2.5.
Okay, that makes sense because the one, like the ones I carry for mine. I had to $3 million.
And Troy, like, is a misdemeanor, and then the above that goes to. So felons and above that, and also. Some crimes go for district, and some minor. Are adopted.
contract. That's your motion to approve, Rockland Law, the LLC attorney at law.
Make a motion to approve our new contract. As a CC, please.
For a second,
I'll second it.
all in favor? PCI exchange orders, so, this first one is for $2,150.27. So what happened here was there was a difference on the plans from RPA, what we provided. And that's it on the last page of the email, and what's, plans call for 20 by 3/4 inch service connection with 21 1-inch locations that are identified. So instead of having a 3/4 service connections, they were all 1-inch, so they're identified like 30 valves and so to do that, total amount requested under the change order 2,409. This is out of the original contracts. If you have reviewed, if not, basically where the water meter pit is, and it falls through. It's one to say it's 3/4 inch line going to the house, and it's actually 1. Any questions? Ask for a motion to approve bid number B27802 for 2,499.
Make a motion to approve the change order for the number of 278-022. This is right.
Do you have a second? All in favor? The second change order that we have for TCI for $36,622. So this will happen before last. What happened was there's 2 sewer crossings, main crossings in there. And since we didn't know the actual depth of it, we thought we had, the correct depth on it. Because the drawings to be 5. So the sewer line runs perpendicular to the highway, water line runs parallel. And when you cross a water or sewer or vice versa, you have to have a minimum separation distance of 12 inches. If you don't, you have to be 12 to 12. To do that, I think they're around 7.5, 8 inches. So they did meet the state requirement for that. So what they had to do is then go back.
We didn't do it right the first time.
They didn't know where the elevation of the sewer was until they got there. So then they had to back up, dig, slope it down, so the stick of pipe had a minimum deflection so that it would still stay together to go dive under that sewer line, and then use flowable fill around it, and then start coming back up because just drop the pipe down. So they had to kind of gradually slope it down so the pipe joints would come out. Along with that is had their extra time and labor for that, be able to do that actually over a few days. Yeah, go back and reactivate what we do, which Dustin can probably attest how much fun that is.
We have a little bit of extra money for grant.
$375,000 extra. And that's not including our contingency. There's one point two, that way 1.2 million. If you see that came in at 209, eight, I think eight something.
Did we have putting on a site to witness this specific set? It's not just CCMA saying this and we're going with it.
Now, Chris Hanley, RPA's site rep was on site. You'll find.
And that one, you know.
I would say this is significant out of the chamber. This is so we already like it.
We actually talked about it, last meeting, 2.5 weeks ago, they were concerned about it. So they brought it to our attention, but you're still not saying, just no line to leave it out, to get it forward. So ask for a motion to approve the estimate number PW-201.
Oh, big motion to approve the change order. 36,622.50.
You got a second? Purchase the Connex boxes, so we tried the only one that they remember during budget last year. We talked about Connex boxes, and trying to get our, so Clay had them budgeted for purchase this year. We've asked all the department heads to go through and get those purchases done before the end of the month, so that way we can consolidate. So we did do the 2 purchases, and they were $7,206.
Do you remember how much we had divided for it? Is that what they had?
Yeah, 9,000 on that one. Shouldn't give them cash. So what they want to do is put 2 Connex and then in a couple of years put trusses over it so they have some more drug slippage. Some help for public works and fire department. Every year we hire one of the high school kids or somebody that's going to graduate. We have one kid that's going to go for his 3rd year. So basically what it'll do is mow, weed, do all the jobs so you guys can do their projects. Generally we hire them $12 an hour. We've been paying $12 an hour for almost years. And one of that, since he has been doing a good job, and this is his 3rd year back, and he wants to go up to $14 an hour. Yeah. That's a pretty good deal. And then Clay also had budgeted in this for a guy for his projects. He's got a couple projects that he's going to start up. Iron Creek, we're getting some more power underground, and then replacing some wire that is a little problem wire that we have outages from. And this kid will be able to help do that with being able to do help the guys out. Since if the guys are short-handed, then they pull back from the public works. And then public works is short. They're just looking to doing something else and see if they're busy this time. There's some of the kids are then working still working. No, because we tend to be for driving.
So otherwise they can, so we'll be hiring, I'll put a announcement out for the power guy, Clay, Midland's right, he's actually got up a, job description for him, so we'll get that posted this week. And then Catholic for budget reports, so. Mhm.
Water and sewer, are we sitting where we are because of waiting for grant money or reimbursements? I don't know, city. Just bringing the other thing to, pursuing it and then, because, we're having some reimbursement.
How much was the Stroh's check you guys just sent? Was this out?
200K,
Yeah.
probably about that
Mm-hmm.
transfer out there.
Whatever is provided, the reason for that sewer, to have the reduction of draw, and then the rest. So on that,
Maintenance is at 114% committed, so, but does that mean we're under on that one?
we're at 414, we're over that line item.
Anything over 100% means that it's been spent. I know that's investment. Mm-hmm. Repair and maintenance.
You got electrical,
No, just maintenance.
Page 2 of 12, 411, 230, 366. Public Works, too.
But, the maintenance, kind of like, keep on the level money that we have to do that, so that's why that was really.
and then we also have the
HVAC, $15,000.
Well,
So I would put a 50,000, 4,000, so it's about where that's at.
in the first 10 minutes, just not like it.
It's a lot better than what it was last year. Yeah, I really have, what,
You know, a handful that are over.
instead of 77,
Yeah, that one, right?
Mhm.
Really dragging thing. So you're, what are we?
and something like that, it's over threat. 77.
All right.
Absolutely terrifying to approve anything.
Unfortunately. And then moving on to old business license policy. Here's the- So Levi went through, the updated 311 general.
Well, I know you wanna put it to bed, but I have one question. So on the business license regulations. 3:1:13, yeah.
Commissioner,
Ordinance. Day 3. License as it is. When it's registered 6 months or more, 50% of the license fee for damage is funded. But then if we look at, so go back to the beginning, 3:1:6. B. Page 206, B1. Where it says, be forfeited whenever a license is revoked or annulled, the amount of money is therefore shall be due forfeited to the city and not refunded. So I don't know if the rules, like considering it's a contract. Sometimes it's a contract or a legal document. contradicts itself, it makes it null and void. So you might wanna double check that, and make sure it reads the way it's supposed to.
What was that second section?
So 3-1-6.
-6.
That's under refusal to issue revocation. And then the one that went out under suspension or revocation.
So they're both revocation.
Yeah.
Saying you get picked, say the other one's like, just
Yeah.
you get none of it.
So maybe just.
Well, you're just, it's three, the same as B.
And one of them just seems like you would take it out, one of them. Probably, I mean, that's a question for him, I mean, in my mind, it's about 3-1-6-1, because it seems like more of an intro statement, but he would know better than me. 3-1-13 gets into specifics, but I'm not sure.
Do I pick down the road or do you want to just?
Well, it's also,
Decide,
it won't be done anyway, because this is the code. It'll require a little bit more
you know,
stuff to actually solidify an update. It has to be like publicized and
So if we just remove 3-1-13, section 3, then we're covered.
Right.
Because 3-1-6 discusses revocations.
so any questions, the comment, what you guys want to do, I guess. So,
There's a piece in here where it says like there's a resolution to set for a business license, and then there's this resolution by city council on 3-2-4. Page 266 at the top, 3-2-4. First of being the permit. And for which a fee is such amount and established in the resolution, we have these fees set in resolutions.
yes.
Okay. That's the only one, put it all into account. So those two resolution things, yeah. The one I just told you, 3-1-13 and 3-1-6.
So I'm confused. If we don't say, if that's not a business, I'm confused why it would be under the business in your license. And special banquet doesn't make you a business. And you're already paying for the permit through the city of Montana, so I don't understand why we pay something through the city. I'm confused about 3.2 or 3-2-4. I mean, why are they running, getting business license to the city and pay a fee when they're buying permit from the state of Montana, which is the beer and liquor license for the day?
but the permit and go to here and wide,
Mm-hmm.
and we have the, business license,
Mhm.
so it's,
So if they already have a business license in the city, why are they gonna pay another on top of that?
for the beer and wine license, it's two totally different things. Say that IGA wants to rent a park for 3 days, or that, they have a business license, but they need to have a state permit to go to the beer and wine. So,
But what is the fee they're paying the city then?
or
It says, we did the city permit, and then it says, first of obtaining a permit therefore from this city treasurer. And then for which a fee is instance analysis status by resolution of the city council.
That's what I'm confused, because they have this license, they're paying for the permit through the state of Montana. What are they paying the city for?
The way I read it is that it's for like that established by resolution of the city council shall be charged. Not that.
So we have special event like business licenses so you can operate in town. And if you want to serve alcohol, then you need an alcohol permit.
Correct.
Yeah, that's
What is it that we're said first, that they have a business license and they've obtained the beer and wine through the state, what are they paying the city? As this reads, they would have to obtain permit through the city of Troy and pay the city treasurer. But what are they paying for? What are they,
paying us. It would just be the business license for the 3 days.
but if they already have a business license?
something comes in, it's the business license.
And that would be depend on if they're an exempt business. Also, the special license or permit for sale of dispensing beer or wine is not a business license.
No, that's
Yeah.
it. You get the state of Montana, but it says here that you have to pay the city treasurer a fee.
And do, non-profit activities.
Which was the impression.
Should I email that one that I dropped to here?
Facing social.
Speaking on the city, that's why part. My biggest issue with this is it often talks about a deposit, but the deposit amount isn't named.
It is just for, I read that, I was reading that too. It is just for, the deposit is $100 only for the event all areas fee. So it's not a deposit for like the daily fee. The only reason I haven't been out of this because I reserved it recently just for the one little piece of the park for $25 for something this summer.
God, I just missed it, and I was like, we're gonna take money out of this deposit, we're just moving the top.
What do we decide for sport watch?
How much to do?
75,
And that's the annual fee? Annual fee or special?
Talk about that in the meeting now. Can you talk about the rest of the city on the number?
It's annual fee.
Which I was following up, but there haven't been a number set.
So you talk to Forest Service and they're doing it for use and $175 for an annual fee.
Okay.
Because we want to be able to walk for use.
Did we decide we're gonna, that's the release of parking permit or how many you want to let they do it?
They come in with their business license and we can get them a permit or something else, but they don't know.
Should we go page by page, or was this question in here?
Okay.
So what about the maintenance of the bathrooms, changing the toilet, taking out the trash? It's, to me, it seems like, he basically talks about cleaning and maintaining the bathrooms.
I'm assuming that, I was assuming that's just for the all fee, the event, all areas fee. I didn't think that when I reserved, I don't think anybody else that reserves the pavilion with the picnic tables for $25 cleans the bathrooms.
No.
So I'm assuming that that section's discussed is just for the event, all areas fee to get your deposit back. Right? Is that- is
So
that-
we don't require anyone to clean bathrooms, we don't.
There's some here written in here about paying bathrooms, maintenance.
Well, she takes it out. And then. You're right, it's later.
To get your deposit back. Where did I see that? I'm asking about this change of the
Oh, it looks pretty sitting down everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I have a little asterisk next to it if you wanted to. That's it. Perfect. That was makes sense.
It's like on the second page, verbal agreements. It's like students to write verbal agreements not accepted. Which I think would be.
I think she just has it highlighted, she's got the asterisk next to it, said failure to adhere to these conditions may result in denial of future use. Meaning like if verbal is not enough, you need copy to it.
No, right, we do not, we're doing ground preparation and carbon supervised.
I'm gonna kick this down the road because this is just a bunch of questions.
Okay.
You're in favor of it.
Is alcohol involved in the process? Is the alcohol used to put it? I mean, you're not gonna put it.
Yeah, I think need that, yeah.
So that you're starting off with it.
It's not like, I know it, use it like that. Over here.
You're not selling.
Right.
How do our WCFD restrictions is what it means, you have just something with that restriction. The park, follow up with them later this week. Housing project update, we thought Friday, we were supposed to hear back, we're supposed to hear back from a consultant for the grant application, which is for the housing assessment and other stuff. We did not hear back. And then emails to see whether it's a consultant or not. Did have an interesting conversation with Sam Sheehy's, Senator Sheehy's aides, about possibly doing VA housing of some sort. There's a VA money out there for VA specific housing. Reached out to Timothy Garrison, which I think everybody knows him, so they moved here. 28 years in the Marine Corps, and now actually the FW District 1 commander, and he has some resources down in the drawer that he's going to reach out to you about the possibility of, or not possibility, but if there's any sort of housing assessment for the VA keeps track of all veterans, whatever it is, so that we can use that with another application. And so we're getting some additional funding through VA funding opportunities. So right now, we're just kind of, holding on that, waiting on the Department of Commerce and some other stuff to fall together. So that's going to be September, October, a little bit more better.
Sewer project update, we have our final walkthrough this Thursday, 11. Do anyone else want to go to that? Sorry, Scott, because they're still in the public.
That's of interest. Interest you guys too, but if Scott can't, I will.
So if you want to go, we just gotta put a public meeting out.
There's your forum.
And notice,
How long do you
I
think
want
it's gonna take?
what's that?
How long do you think it's?
I don't think it'll take more than 4 hours.
Well, I could probably do it for an hour, I have, limited traffic, so. So, back. Go back, nobody goes up.
Honestly, I already saw. Scott
I'd like to go.
has better eyes than me, so just know that. I'm a better.
And that will declare, depending on planning, which I think will be all right, and that project will be declared substantially. You started so much decided. Water project. Trying to keep this dead horse. Levi's still trying to be done fully the project by the end of June. That would include the line replacement up there on Watertown.
The sidewalks too.
What's that?
I'm gonna do the sidewalks too.
That's what he's saying, so we'll see. There's a 3-year performance warranty on that, so. It's settlement, and he has to come back and fix that. Or within 3 years, it's settled, yes. You have any questions on the water project? Permit reports. Have worked through 23 tags, 4 disconnects, that's 23 tags of fire level lower. Most of it that, usually around 55, 45. That call out on Hager, we can 4 last. And then they did some branching wire and conductor up on Lower Freedom Ridge from the junction up to, I think, Erickson's house, Jerry Erickson's house up there. They replaced the winter banners with summer banners and then with the bigger with one banners, so we're trying to play those out. And we did get honored, by Senator Tim Cheney, they came down and did some award recognition in there, a couple weeks to go for the, what they were doing, what I wanted to. Grabbing over to yours.
So, training, information, instead of qualifications, we just know we're gonna do this coming Saturday. How that goes, getting physical and all that stuff. So we just do, last week, I think, specifically, vehicles, so that we, Western UK, I think,
See that?
I'll just try to get this caught out. Then the citizens, operating the big and,
Okay.
they said that they get a priority. It's gonna get, that otherwise, we're gonna get grants, emergency grants for cars. So we're switching over from, the flex
that system that we're using the that option going forward. They're going through a different system and then there's carbon bars and other cars starting and confused in their real vehicles in the office. Some the sheriff department recommended they're refurbished and they have a 50-year warranty on them, but it was about $3,800 for 3 of them, and so it's kind of like a grant for us. But that's gonna wait to see. It's been training looks like to go with the system. Nothing advanced before the July. Then
Coordinated with additional help over here on the 4th of July night.
no, as far as I talked to Chief Cricket Brad, or over here passport as far as actually having some people help with the traffic fireworks. That's the big thing. Still, they're kind of keeping a bunch of guys right now. That's so I think that they've been all good. So we got to pick the 4th call for the service. We need traffic stops. We need order to assist. Some calls that we dealt with this last month, or right now, putting some points with some violations. We call citizens to talk about any crashes, opportunities, thefts, alarm calls, city road violations, suicide call, interchanges, central stops, and changes. And park back.
How the board on things on.
Very good. So far.
Push back to me, bar owners.
Not lately, but we have in the past with the store.
Public Works. Very top one, working on more zero rate meters. Basically, our meters are analyzed. And there's for 220 of those with the wood grant, on that. The 220 meters is $96,000. To be able to replace it. Get splash pads from those. Take over the. We're not working on all fields today, so yeah. We have good Lord, like the down there. On some of the fields.
Wonder how part of the phone,
Where's that?
the bottom, the 3 ups. Please wonder on apartment number 4 in the fair to rental.
There wasn't that much stuff. There was some soup cans, so they were quite
Wonder, okay.
yeah. And that. Cemetery cleanup, the high school went up last week and we picked up some piles. We just made it up there and raked out that whole cemetery with all the pine needles. Looked really well. So you guys get a chance to go through and look at that. The witnesses, I said.
got flagged out for the, hex dog, there's just a couple, VFW had some, we're gonna donate for that. Fire department's all wrapped up, the building, everything's painted out. Final bill's been sent over, and it came up at $96,500, which is a couple $1,000 less than what the bid was. That was due to the building permit and then also with the. So we got both sides. I think, both sides are painted out.
No, they're not both sides. What they haven't used for that.
It's just the double seam.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if the insurance came in at $94,700, full invoice is $96,500, which is $1,800 difference between that plus the RPA cost for the inspection services. Then we'll be able to get that application, it's the $4,000.
Maybe for engineer for up to $5,000, you know, what they're looking.
It was 2,600. Last time I checked, but just sent it over last week and I did not see it. So. Let's just send it to there. I'll find out tomorrow. Worst case, Thursday, and I will let everybody know what that is. Council, do you have anything? Yeah, move on to public comments for items not on the agenda.
I think this is where we go at, that money that we got donated to the fire department from, by line, $1,050 per year. We okay to spend that on gear now, or do you guys got
We have to approve that through budget amendment, so we have $1,000 donated from, actually, we don't, it's a donation. So it goes straight into your account. From First Montana Bank. So, and then $1,500 from Jason Williams. And then waiting on the approval from Lincoln County Credit Union, which I think they meet the third Tuesday of each month to their board members, and they're discussing donating $5,000 to the house.
So does that have to be approved through city council? So if, let's say you got tomorrow, you got to go ahead for the other five, does that have to be approved?
I
through
don't
city
think,
council?
no, I don't think we have to start, it's a direct donation for an item.
They said what they wanted it to go to.
That's all right. Want to make sure there's no amendment, no.
There'll be an amendment because we'll add it to your line item, but that's just the end of year amendment. So it's not a specific.
So how much is that total?
It's 7.5 plus 75.
And you should hear tomorrow.
From credit union?
Yes.
Is that the third Tuesday?
Yes.
I'll pay, Andrew, Wednesday morning. You can help out.
They're pretty good. That's 40 days. I wonder if we just need to consolidate.
If you vote for it, $30 million of reserve money goes to the Flathead. So I'm
That's
just
what I
saying.
thought. That's what I thought. I've been trying to learn more about it. Not sure
Oh,
I understand, but
Call Jim Steeper. He knows all about it.
that's kind of what I've been wondering.
Control of credit union. will be-
And I did read somewhere we get to vote. Members get to vote.
all members. Okay, so any other comments, items on the agenda, ma'am? Do you have anything?
Well, I have a question, I can leave you the weeds out there when I'm not in home.
You can,
Across the street.
You want us to do it, or do you want to? You're more than welcome to weed any weed on city property. What happened to you? One location, man.
In that car and the,
No,
is that, I think.
no, it's city
Okay.
property.
The weeds are easy to say.
Yeah. And then we have our summer help.
That was-
When you get it first, we appreciate it.
Yeah. You can get it first, trust me, my department will hear completely about it in a very shameful way.
You said for this meeting, it's outside my stuff. I'm like, curious. For the cross street behind them. Why don't they get fans?
Yeah.
Thanks for it. Oh, really? Years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just have a really minor question. You guys told me that you signed us up for the Fourth of July concession stand.
No,
We're not doing that this year?
I have not been contacted.
No,
No.
you.
You've been.
I mentioned it.
No,
I would like, I have company coming. I'd like to know when I can call.
I have not yet. Must be that Mike legit rescheduled his meeting with public works on later this week. So there will be a discussion with Mr. Legit.
I don't know. I just know there was an email point about that.
For 2 hours long.
I'm right in the middle of the day.
Well, it came out the way.
So I guess I was curious what time we're being signed up for.
Last year, I was scheduled. So
Okay. But if you have those thoughts, like me,
We were cleaning up.
yeah,
Before we adjourn, we need to talk about any additional meetings for budgeting stuff through June.
Why are you looking at me?
you set those meetings.
Do I?
Wanted you to set the meetings.
Have you
Oh.
seen how many fucking head stuff yet? Cause we have.
Nope. I gotta do that tomorrow.
Everyone's put down what the relation this.
Oh, it's just.
Yeah.
I know I'm
Here at it.
oh, no, I'm behind on the sending out the things, but did not know I was scheduling meetings.
See, that brought the board's attention, like, you need to go look at to our right and sunset. That intersection is failing, those 10 wheelers with vulnerability. It is pushing asphalt, cracking it into the sun. I've been saying for the last 7 years, I lived there as a weekend. Those loaded 10 wheelers destroying that intersection.
Okay.
I
Where the record is on the corner.
Yeah, it's, they're turning hard, it's rolling that asphalt, and now it's cracking now a little bit, but it's pushed,
Sunset and Sunrise.
we're out of coming.
Yeah, well, speaking of all those street names down there, 'cause there's a sunset and a sunrise, and they're all the signs are turned wrong. So if somebody's looking to deliver on Sunrise
I
Road,
talked to Ward about it today, I saw him real quick, county shop, but it is, there's something going on.
Okay.
So,
if there's any-
When we used to have those meetings, Mondays and Tuesdays, when you guys talk Mondays and Tuesdays, we were best friends.
Is that kind of the consensus for everyone?
Someone's just, Julie, on Tuesday, that fire hall.
After I understood,
They're having fun, right?
would you need me to mark these for the meeting?
Yeah, because they were here for hours.
And then I also bring this to this meeting because Dave was usually here, I guess, in the, disabled. He told me that there is some kind of huge pothole in front of Dennis, the bike guy's house.
More or less.
Okay, great. I just wanted to make sure.
So they're gonna get the,
I just didn't know if it had.
oil from,
Sure,
state, they got a patcher, I think, that they used up by our place last year. So I talked to the state guy last week, they're gonna get that, and I will push one of them. They just need to see. Let them know.
See you later.
Thanks very safe for you. Instead of go back, we got any more work out tonight? Don't you know?
So, set that.
You're gonna follow the shirt off.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do behind that.
Okay.
I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second. All in favor? You guys are sending out questions to regular, lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your rich list?
Yes, sir.
What's that?
What do you think? And you guys need template. Did you guys need? Yeah.
Okay.